broken up into three parts: do more, create more, and earn more. And recognizing that we're in a major shift in terms of the way we do things, the way we create things, and the way we should earn. The ways that our parents used to earn money won't be the same ways that we will be able to earn money, because some of those jobs won't be done by humans. It will be done by machines, or at least collaborating with technology more. And the things that make the advantages that make us uniquely human have to be are being challenged now by the many things that things like ChatGPT and many other types of tools are able to mimic human intelligence and productivity. So the book really is a wake-up call to all of us to really relook, this whole money thing, and our contribution to making an impact, recognizing that your impact by focusing on the idea that can be impactful, money will follow, rather than us trying to chase money in and of itself. Yeah, so it's quite an interesting book title. Many times when I
Open Sesame.
Yes, when I show persons the book, they say Open Sesame.
Yeah, I've got my copy.
Yes, how to make money without money? What?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
How is that going to be possible?
Exactly. I always experience a light bulb moment among anyone who holds a book or hears about the book, because we're all interested in making money, but sometimes we don't really reflect on why we are actually pursuing money, not recognizing that money didn't come about by itself, right? There's something else behind the idea of money that we really need to be focusing on. And interestingly, I just want to show you something.
We are live already.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Interestingly, I want to show you something here, Faith.
Okay, what's that?
Clearly. All right. Well, what do you think it is? And even your audience, I don't know if they can put in the chat. What do you think this is? I'll put it very close and far. I'll turn it around.
I can't see it clearly.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm just showing it a bit. Okay. So what this is shredded money that has been compressed.
So, are you for it? I hope they're not dollars.
So I'd like you to guess how much money is in my hand right now. I'm going to put it in US dollars if that's the easiest way, or just
maybe $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
2,000.
More.
5,000.
So this is basically equivalent of upwards of 6,000 US. Right?
Okay.
But of course, this is really Jamaican dollars, right? Because
that's in Jamaican dollars.
Right. So where I work at the Bank of Jamaica, and all central banks, their focus, one of the most unique characteristics of a central bank is to make money without money, right? And the same central bank that creates money shreds their own money. So
really?
Yeah. So anyone who is an intern or first enters into starting to work at the central bank, they get a tour of the place. And one of the most interesting, eye-opening things that I recognized was that when we went to the currency area, the stacks of money that you saw, they treated like a commodity, like inventory, like as anything else, like when you're carrying cartons of milk or of soda or whatever it is, right? And it's in an area that looks with a lot of bars and so on, looking almost like a prison. Yeah, it's very caged, and you only can go down there with particular clothes that has no pockets, anything like that. And the reason why I'm saying that is that what we really seek in money. We have to recognize that you are the value that you really seek in money, not money.
You're the value seeking money. I got that.
Yeah. It's not money enough itself, because the very institutions that create the money shred it. So what exactly is the value? So the book Open Sesame is to really recognize that you are the door. You are the door that needs to be opened. You need to open sesame, right? Yourself to the bounteous opportunities that are right before you. No longer should you wait on some door of opportunity to present itself and then for that to magically change your life. You are actually
Mm,
the door that is stuck in a jam and you
mm.
may be stuck in a no money cycle. And the truth is, Faith, is that all of us go through some kind of no money situation, no matter what
I'd like you
income.
to tell us. I'd like you to
Yes.
tell us about your pandemic experience. But before you go there, welcome
Right.
everyone. We're live already. Yeah, we started off
Right.
the conversation from the back end. Thank you for joining us today. I have in the studio Mr. Eliud George Ramocan, all the way from Jamaica. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much. This is going to be a powerful conversation. Please tell us your name and where you are joining from in the comments. I can see some persons from Yaoundé already. I see Nigerians. I see. Okay, please tell us where you are joining us from. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to connect to you as well. Please come with an open heart because there's a lot you're going to be learning from this amazing personality that we've got here today. Thank you so much for joining us. So before we delve in to the conversation, I'd like you to give us a bit of your background, Mr. Eliud. Tell us more about you. We want to meet you.
All right. Okay. So thank you, Faith. Thanks for inviting me onto your show. So everyone, I'm LG. My full name is Eliud George Ramocan, right?
I got
Eliud,
it.
yes, yes. Eliud is Hebrew, um,
Mm,
for all praises to God. Yes, I'm a
mm.
Christian. And Ramocan, interestingly, is Indian name, right? That has quite a bit of,
Indian?
yes, yes.
Mm,
And
interesting.
I am a central banker. I've been in the financial industry for upwards of 20 years. And I am also a lecturer at a number of universities in risk management, project management, economics, a mix of those, also as IT. I have a background in IT and economics. I would have
Mm,
pursued further studies, did an MBA. I would have done further studies at Harvard Kennedy School of Government in strategic management and cyber policy. So my current role is leading the cyber agenda for the financial sector, and
mm,
I I have been an author mostly on the research side for a number of years, and this journey uh, through the financial industry, seeing how money works, seeing how people live for money or use money to make a life, and the
mm,
dynamics of what I've recognized that persons before you reach a midlife crisis, you reach a money life crisis at some point. Uh,
mm,
I've really been intrigued about how persons uh, how money become in essence becomes a reflection tool of yourself as you seek to define yourself and your own space in this world. And quite interestingly, at a young age, uh, at the age of 14 years old,
mm.
I was
That
asked.
story is amazing. Mm.
Yes, yes, I was asked to. Well, first of all, my parents owed my parents ran a
Can you
bookstore.
increase your volume a bit? I'm
Oh, yeah,
struggling
of
to
course.
hear you.
Yes, my parents would have owned a bookstore in the heart of the city in Jamaica, and there was a school on the other side of the island that they they owed a bit of money, and the deal. My parents sat me down and said I would be the debt exchange. I
Mm.
didn't know exactly what debt exchange meant, really, but what experience was in a sense to go to that school, essentially, paid for, or as a result of the arrangement, and given that it was on the other side of the island, I would fly 80 times over the 8 months being at that school. That was my final year in high school, and
Mm.
uh, I didn't know what to expect really,
Was
but
it also within Jamaica?
Yes, it was within Jamaica. So there are
Okay.
so there are two cities in Jamaica, one on the southeast and one on the
Okay.
northwest. And
Okay.
can take a 18-minute flight. Yes, just 18 minutes. So what used to happen is that whoever I sat beside or whoever sat beside me in the airplane, I would just strike up a conversation just to find out what they do. I mean, people who fly on a regular clearly must be doing something worthwhile. So persons who are businessmen, businesswomen, millionaires, spouses of millionaires, persons who have made their name in different respects. I would just simply ask them, what do they do, and did they, how did they get started? And the majority of them said that they started from no money, right? And it intrigued me as to how were they able to get from no money to where they are.
Yeah.
And one of the statements that really shaped me, which is the premise of this book, is that if you can't make money without money, you can't
You
really
can't
make
make money with money.
money, right?
Mm.
And in Jamaica, I don't know if this is the case in Nigeria. The lotto is a big thing. It's a part of our culture. I mean, gambling,
Mm.
right? Persons wake up in the morning and go to the lotto place and they put in a few coins or few dollars, hoping to win this big jackpot. So much so that on TV, on radio, there are 5 slots that are dedicated to just seeing if you will have this lucky number, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen where persons have earned a lot of money, right? Like they've won the lotto,
Mm.
and at the end of the day, they become worse off because they don't know how to manage money, and they didn't know what really to do with it for them to make a better life with it. So definitely that statement really stuck out to me that if you can't make money without money, if you don't have the right mindset, skill set, tool sets, which is really a great set of assets, then when you have money, it's going to embarrass you. It's going to make you worse off. And
Mm.
whatever bad habits you had, it's just going to amplify it, make it, accelerate it, and make your life even poorer because of the poor habits. But when you have rich habits or enriched habits, when you have more money, you're able to know those good habits will now amplify to a better future for you. Mhm.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I believe you are Lenny. Please go ahead. Whenever any point hits you in the room, just type it in the comment. And if you have any question along the line, do not hesitate to ask as well. So, looking at the title of the book, Eliud, Open Sesame. The first time I heard this, I think you had to explain it to me through the Zoom call. Please tell us about it. What inspired this title, Open Sesame?
Yes, right. Yes, yes. So a number of different. It was a convergence of a number of different things. But Open
Okay.
Sesame itself is means to open a magical door. Some of us may
Okay.
know the story about Alibaba, the 40 Thieves, and where he
Mm,
would have said "Open Sesame" to this the covering of a cave, and it would have opened by this magical word, "Open Sesame."
mm,
I was intrigued by that tale, and the idea of Open Sesame here is that you are that door that needs to be opened, and only you can open, um, make yourself unstuck, right? To get out of any kind of no money situation. But in my
mm,
research in finding out where this term really came from, um, I would have flown to the Middle East to find out more about Open
mm,
Sesame and all of that, and I would have learned that Open Sesame is actually an agricultural term, where the sesame seeds that are in a pod, just like you have any kind of peas or so, they're in a pod. The seeds are
mm,
in a pod, and then in the desert, in particular, when it's really hot and so on, the pod ripens and then it bursts the seeds out of the
mm.
pod and it catapults many, many meters away from that plant, the sesame plant. And it is
Okay.
able to grow in those harsh conditions. And in ancient times, sesame oil was seen as almost liquid gold. and it was seen as one of the most resilient seeds that thrive in any condition. And the book
mm,
is, in a sense, also saying that you are that sesame seed. That's, you can thrive in very harsh conditions, even in situations of high debt, situations, where your your financial situation, your marriage situation, your life situation may not be what you wanted, or may not be what you thought it would have been at this age, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or
Hello,
50s.
Eliud. I think
Yes.
some persons are saying they can barely hear you.
Really?
Can you
Oh
put
my.
on your earpiece or something? Maybe
All right.
you have a
Let me see.
headphone somewhere around
Oh yeah.
so that we
All
can
right.
hear you clearly.
Okay. Let me see
Sorry
if I can get
about
that.
that. Where are you joining
Sorry.
us from? Please
All right.
get
Let me
that
get that.
while we wait for you. All right, guys, where are you joining us from? We're currently streaming on three different platforms. Please tell us where you're joining us from: YouTube, the We Leaders platform, or my profile, Facebook, on Facebook, Faith Michael. So tell us where you're joining from and your name. We're so glad that you are here. So we're currently having a conversation around the book Open Sesame by Eliud George Ramocan from Jamaica. um, I believe you've been listening to some of the amazing points he has shared. That is of necessity. We also understand that it is possible for us to make money without money. And that's quite fascinating. And I see it as a revolution, right? Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear loud and clear? Are you hearing me better? Everyone, are you hearing me better?
Uh-huh. It's better now from
All
my
right.
end. I
Great.
don't know about them.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Yes. So I'm hearing you clearly. I hope everyone is hearing clearly. Right. So,
I think it's better.
right. So I was just making a point regarding the term open sesame. So
Mm,
it means to open the door, right? It
yeah.
also means it's an agricultural term where the sesame seed is able to catapult outside of its comfort zone into a harsh condition, right? And able to
Mm,
thrive there and grow. And you are that sesame seed. That is. Now, the book uses the term open as an acronym, which is really the blueprint of the book and the
the
series
book.
that comes. Open means opportunity, plan,
Plan,
enthusiasm,
enthusiasm,
and network.
network.
Yes. And so it takes the reader, takes you through what that means and how each element is a very important part of how you're able to make money without money.
So tell us about the network. I mean, the big picture of what you've currently started, because I know this is just the beginning, right? We
Yes.
have started, and from what you shared in the book, we're going to be going deeper into the concept that you have shared in the book,
Hmm.
from other subsequent edition that you're going to be pushing out. So I'd like you to just take us there. I want you to build on that foundation. What is the vision? What are you looking forward to? How do you want people to be blessed through this revolution, through this movement that you have started off?
Yes, yes. Well, the, the bottom line of this is to first recognize that you are enough, right? To
Mm.
recognize that you,
Somebody should write
there's
that in the
value in you.
comment.
There is value within you that is untapped, and for you to recognize that, whether in a particular skill set that you have, whether in terms of those around you, your network, as many of you may hear sometimes, your network is your net worth, and your
Mm,
network is also your next worth. In other words,
mm,
what you're able to leverage, and you're able to turn your contacts into contracts, where the
mm,
very people that are on your phone you can scroll through, and based on what you can offer them to serve, you can now turn that into some form of contracts that then can give you cash. Another very important concept that it leverages is that that's the right persons to find a way to make it their own, is to be able to bring their hobby to the lobby. Now, there's a very popular hotel in Jamaica where persons just hang out, and they just hang out there to meet new people, right? Uh, Persons who are aspiring, persons who are very seasoned in their game, and you're able to meet people in the lobby, and you're able to turn your hobby into a lobby. You're able to bring your hobby to the lobby and to meet persons who may have common interests with you, and be able now to change that hobby that gives you no money to a high value skill that you can't you have to be uh, seeing how many people can you really manage, because so many people want your service, and therefore you're able to increase your price and be able to, of course, increase the value that you bring. So the idea here is for you to be able to find ways to do more, to be able to create more, and to earn more. Now, we're in this age that I would like persons to recognize as a blended age. Now, I mean, if you ask some persons, where are we? Are we in the information age? Persons say, yeah, man, we're in the information age. You see, there's
Yeah.
internet and all these things, but the eras have been moving quite fast and successively that we don't realize how much is happening. So I've shifted from
Mm,
the information age to what's known as the attention age or the influencer age, where
mm.
social media would have been, of course, on the rise during that time. And we've shifted from the attention age to what I call in the book the blended age.
Blended age.
And what that means is that this is a time in which the lines are blurred between man and technology, right? So we're seeing a lot of things that are blended, or another word for blended is hybrid. So whether it's hybrid
Mm,
cars, hybrid learning, hybrid workforce, blending of computer and of technology and biology, blending of brain and computer interfaces, artificial
mm,
intelligence, blended reality, where we have augmented reality and virtual reality. We have our AI assistants and Alexa and Siri and all these things. This
mm.
is the new reality, which is a blended reality that now opens up so many opportunities. It lowers the bar for us to be able to jump over and to be able to do something meaningful with our lives that will also attract the money. Because the thing is that it is money follows ideas, right? Not the other way around. Money chases after ideas. And now this is a ripe time, opportune time for you to now think of ideas just like a sesame seed that can grow even in the harsh conditions, financial conditions that you're in. So this is really a time to recognize that we are actually in the era of no excuse. We have zero excuse to say that we don't know how to do something, because on
Mm.
YouTube University, you're able to know anything that you like.
Yeah.
It's all about just having the drive. It's all about having enthusiasm. That's an E in open, and that will be able now to create a head turning reaction in your network for persons to now see how they can get value through you, and how you're able now to make that into your own business, your own side hustle, whatever maybe you want to call it, for you to be able now to do more, create more, and earn more. And in the area of artificial intelligence, AI, it's all about now looking at how can you do more with AI, how can you create more with AI, and how can you earn more with AI, which is a discussion that's
You talked
will take you
about
for a little
over
bit.
200 opportunities or
Yes,
200 ways in the
yes,
book on
yes,
how to do more, create more, be more, and
yes,
how to also leverage some of those opportunities. So, in your own, you wrote the book. So, I like you to advise young people. I know you're very passionate about young people. I like you to advise them, looking at all the, let me go back to the book, over 200 channels
yes,
through which we can begin to generate ideas, income generating ideas, over 200 of them that you mentioned in the book. Without
yes.
giving away too much, I'd like you to just advise young people. What do you think? Where should they begin to focus on in this day and age for them to be able to make more, even from nothing?
Yes, right. So the first thing is to recognize that the greatest resource is resourcefulness, right?
Oh my God, that line took me off balance, man.
Um, and and to and to realize that you can make plenty out of empty, right?
Mm,
Just where you are, you can look at, well, first of all, to look at the problems around you, because money is in the middle of problems, right? No, we don't like
Mm.
problems in of itself, but we have to recognize money is in the middle of problems. And so therefore, if you have problems, you are in rich soil to grow. Yeah. So now you can ask, how can you solve someone's problem? And you don't need to have the things, you just need to know where you can point them to. Um, and to be that middle person to be able to help them to get there and to charge for that.
Mm.
Um, Another way that is very, very just right under our nose, literally, is just to think about the things that people always compliment you about. They say, "Wow, you're really good at writing," or "Wow, you're really good at making these things that I've never seen anybody else do it," or "Wow, you're really easy to talk to." Whatever persons naturally compliment you about, right? Um, that is a signal to what your strength is, and you want to play
Mm.
to your strengths. Okay, and where your weaknesses are, then you can get persons who have those strengths, employ them, or have them to be a part of your network, your support system, or
Mm.
your sales team, however they are, for this type of thing that you're in, and they're able to now multiply your effort to be able to earn more. There's a key concept in the book. It's called 3/8 give 24.
Yeah.
3/8 give 24. Now we all know that 3 times 8 gives you 24, but that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
The eights is ATES. So eliminate, automate, delegate. By doing that, you're able to now free up at least 24 hours of your busy time and busy schedule. And this is for young people, especially who say that they don't have time, right? They don't have enough time. They may be in a job where they're working, or maybe two jobs, working, and just don't have any time for themselves. Maybe you may have a child, you maybe married, family responsibilities, you just don't have any time. So think 3/8 give 24. What can you eliminate? What can you automate? What can you delegate?
Delegate.
Yes. And by doing that or thinking through that, you're now able to see how you can free up some time, that
Mm.
now that free time, you're able now to focus on leveling up, focusing on your true passion, focus on that side hustle that you really want to become your new your empire one day. So 3/8 give 24. What it basically does, when you see things that are cluttering your life, things that you have said yes to so many times that, I mean, it's almost like obligation, but now you need to lessen that. That's eliminating. And then now things that you can automate. There are lots of tools, automated tools on your phone, to remind you of doing things, to schedule things for you, to create a
Mm.
calendar link that persons can just say when they want to talk to you based on your own free time, whatever it may be. That now you're able now to have a clearer mind to now think on the things that can really level up your game. Now the thing about this formula 3/8 gives 24 is that the 24 hours. Now we know we generally think 24 hours gives you a day, but
Mm.
in terms of waking hours, we generally, we generally only have a third of that, right?
Mm.
So in a day, we one third we sleep, right? If we sleep as good as that 8 hours, another
Mm.
8 hours, another third of that day, you're doing general, routine things. You're commuting, you're cleaning the house, you're buying groceries, routine things that are not really
Yeah.
shifting your life. So you only have one more third of the day, that's 8 hours in a day, to be able to hopefully do something that is worthwhile.
Mm.
So when it says you free up 24 hours, it's really saying that you free up 24 waking hours, which can span
Okay.
across 3 days. So eight
Mm.
hours day one, 8 hours day two, 8 hours day three, or however you want to spread those 24 hours. Probably because of your schedule, those 24 hours may spread over more than 3 days. Whatever it is, 3/8
Mm.
gives you 24, gives you that clear time to know, say, this is my time to know build value that that now person I can now convert into money through whatever skill sets that you either have, skill sets of others that you can leverage, or new skills that you want to build for yourself to be more marketable
Mm.
and to be able to do more, create more, and earn more.
Interesting. I think I love that concept as well because nobody will be able to say I have an excuse for not really doing what I'm supposed to do, for not keeping up. So you can as well spread it, looking at your schedule, and see how you can build, how you can structure, and become very intentional. Reading through the book for me, it was transformational. So I want to say to everyone listening to me today that it is possible for us to make money without money. My life is a testimony as well. I want you to go ahead and get the book. There's a link in the description to get it on Amazon. Please go ahead and get your copy of the book. You need to have Open Sesame in your library, right? It's important. So you talked about the fact that we are the value that we seek in money. What does that even mean?
Yes. All right. So um, the question is we have to ask is, what are you really after in money, in seeking money?
Mm,
And you know, some persons they say they want to buy this, they want to buy that, they want to impress their friends and so forth, and all various reasons, right? Um, and what we need to recognize is that we are the ones that we need to value ourselves. We need to invest in ourselves, right? And more money will be attracted to us, or we're able now to create more situations that people who have money in their pockets will give you whatever they have in exchange for what you're going to be giving them more of. In other words, you're giving more value than the money that they think that they have in their
mm,
pockets is worth. So it is for us to kind of recognize that. Now, the book is a signature collection, right? Or the series is a signature collection. So if it talks about your signature value, that is a value that you really seek. Now, if you think about
mm,
actual money, the dollar notes, whatever currency it may be, I mean, the value in it isn't what is written on it. If it says $100, $1,000, or whatever it may be, because I mean, the way that money is now, it's called fiat money, which basically means it's face value, right? So it's what really gives it value is the signature that is on it and who
mm,
issued it, not the paper that it's written on, not the ink that is on it. It's a signature and who issued it, right? So for money, generally speaking, the central bank is the one that issues that money, and it is either the governor that signs on it or the head of treasury, or a signature that shows authority, right? A signature that shows credibility, a signature that shows trust. That's really it. So in the same way, you now need to value yourself, or you value your signature. Now,
mm.
I could ask,
Come on.
what is your favorite sport? Maybe what's your favorite sport, by the way, Faith?
Mm,
What's your favorite sport, guys, in the chat?
maybe football. Mm,
Football,
mm,
okay,
mm.
all right.
Not too
So
sure. I'm not a
football,
sport person.
basketball,
Mm,
netball, whatever it may be. Now, um, s- a basketball, for example, it says it costs maybe $5 US, for example. But
mm,
if your favorite basketball star, whether it is Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, I mean whoever, their signature is on it. Do you think that basketball is just going to be worth $5 still?
not at
No,
all.
that's like
Mm,
that will be worth 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more than what it is, and it's just because of the signature. The signature. There's value in that signature. And likewise, there is value in your signature. And
mm.
no, what does your signature represent? A signature represents your brand. A signature
Yeah.
represents your story. A signature represents your value, who you are. And no, the question is, what will be that signature product, that signature service, that signature
Mm,
skill, right? That signature blend of skills that you want to
mm,
make your own, that you can actually sell, that you can market, that you can help everyone with. So, in a sense, the most powerful symbol is not the dollar sign that is on the dollar bill. It is a
Mm.
signature that is on it, and therefore it's now all about you. How are you now going to now have a value first approach to earning money, to now build that value in, baked in, and to now be able to lead with that. Now, in the book, it speaks about 10 sesame seeds,
Yeah.
not not seeds, seeds, C's. So 10
Mm.
C's, like ABC, 10 C's. And it basically shows that you should try to build those C's into your life in order to emanate
Increase your value.
value and increase your value. So it speaks about many C's. I'll just list a few of them: contentment, creativity, cultivating, consistency,
Character.
cooperating, and then the top one, number 10, yes, is character, building your character. And studies show that it's not your IQ that matters. It's your EQ, mean your emotional quotient, which boils down to your character, which is your combination of your attitudes, your beliefs,
Yeah.
um, and and how you seek in serving others, right? And in this age that we're living in, studies show that the younger generation is sometimes called the generation of entitlements, because things are just easy to get by, easy to come by.
Yeah.
Where instant gratification is a thing. You want something now, you can get it now. And we have to recognize that character is really a process. It takes a process and also takes adversity. So the book actually shows that your no money situation puts you at a distinct advantage and even those who already have money, because it now
Mm.
gets you to be very
I love
creative.
that.
It gets you to be more
Mm.
resourceful, to think about what you have. Scarcity can now bring new skills to the table that you never thought that you had. In Jamaica, we have a term that says, you turn your hand to make fashion. In other words, you look at what's in your hand, whatever's in your hand, you try to now make something fashionable with it, and it will
Mm.
be able to be something that can help you to do more, create more, and earn more. Yes. No, a very
Can you
important
stay
thing.
there a
Go
bit?
ahead. Let me hear you. What is it?
Can you stay there some
Yes.
more? Like, I want you to talk
Yes.
about, in fact, I think I shared a video. I did a video and I shared it on my LinkedIn platform to
Yes.
talk about the book and my experience with it. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Hearing you very
Can you
clearly.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My experience with it. And someone said something very fascinating. He said, this is more like the Moses kind of experience when God asked him, what do you have in your hands?
Yes.
So, um, looking at the entitlement culture for young people
Yes.
today, how would you advise them to say it is okay to go slow? It is okay to understand that your time will come, but just follow through these protocols, follow through these things that these principles, like you spoke about the C's, the 10
And
C's,
sees.
right?
Yes.
Follow through these principles, and this will surely happen. This is what is guaranteed. How do you encourage them in a nutshell to say that it is possible for you to recognize what you already have at your disposal and be able to utilize it? There was a place you spoke about something very fascinating in the book, and it truly resonated with me because that has been my experience. I started
Mm-hmm.
off in the online space, helping people, coaching, and all of that without even having nothing. In
Mm-hmm. Yes.
fact, I shared my story in one of the video that as at that time, the device I was even using, I didn't have a laptop. It was just me doing my thing and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at that experience, a lot of people would be like, I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to start small. So what's your encouragement for young people, especially those that are really entitled? They're looking for everything to be ready. You are saying you can make money without money. Then they'll be like, let me have the money first. So what's your advice for them? And how far do you intend to go with this very um, idea, this very vision that God has laid in your heart? How far do you intend to go with it, please? I know
Yes.
that
Yes.
people are listening. They may want to contact you as well. So please talk to us.
All right. Okay. Sure. Sure. So, the, anyone who's kind of thinking, okay, I just want to make it in life right now, and I don't want to go through all that hard work and everything. I, I've, I like to just give an example. So I think of a seed. Now, a seed grows in two directions. It grows up and it grows down. Is that right, Faith? Yes, it grows down, the roots,
Yeah.
and it grows up, the fruits.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Fruits,
uh,
roots.
right, yeah. So, I did this activity with a few kids. I asked them to draw a tree, and I gave them only 20 seconds to draw the tree. And everyone, each of them, they drew a really nice tree, but no one drew the roots. They only drew what they see above the
Are
soil.
you for real?
Yes. So I took each of their posters and then I said, let me draw what is even more important than what you see. And I was able to draw the root system, right? Which,
Mm.
if you ever think about it, it's almost like a parallel. If you have your two hands
Yeah.
like this, you have the
Yeah.
fruit system, and you have the root system.
Mm.
And the technical term for it is that there's gravitropic growth. Gravitropic means growing down
Mm.
towards gravity, right, in direction of gravity, away from the sunlight. And then there is phototropic growth, which is growing towards the sun, photo like photosynthesis, growing towards the sun,
Mm.
away from gravity or against gravity. Now, as young people, what they generally see is what is above the soil, and they want that. They want the fruits, right? But they don't see the roots that allow
Exactly.
the fruits to happen.
Mm.
Okay. And it is not until when a storm comes that you really see the trees that actually have rich roots. So you need to be
Mm.
rich in roots before you're rich in fruits.
Mm.
So when
Please
you're rich,
type that in the comments.
yes,
Eliud George.
mhm,
Please say
yes,
that again.
you got to be rich in your roots before you're
Mm.
rich in your fruits.
Okay.
And the character, the 10 C's, for example, helps you to build those fruits. Those are build those roots. And then as your seasons
On full.
change, you're able to get the fruits in the right season. So you don't get fruits
Mm.
in every season, but you get fruits in the
Mm.
right season. Right?
My God.
Now, there is something very profound in the final chapter of the book, and when it talks about you are the value that you seek. It speaks about that in the school system, that's we have gone through. You're normally graded from A to F, right?
Mm.
Where A, you're trying
Yeah.
to get A's, get the best score, and that. And when you get a C, you're looked down upon because you're not an A student, and you feel out of place, and that's a grading system, A to F.
Mm.
But in life, the grading system for life is from G to K. G is for gratitude. H is for humility. So it's from G
Mm.
H I J K. So G is
Mm.
gratitude. H is humility. I is your integrity. These are your roots, what we're talking about.
Mm.
J is your joy, deep joy. And kindness is the last letter, K. K for
Mm.
kindness.
Interesting.
And those are the true qualities that brings you through life, that makes you be able to have be able to grow the fruits that really matter in life. When I'm interviewing persons, for jobs and so on, the majority of them have top scores. So that's not going to set them apart. What I'm looking for is a gratitude. So young people, this is a very important thing. When you're interviews, it's very easy whenever they ask, okay, so, what have you achieved? What's your claim to success or that sort of thing? It's very easy to say that I did this, I did that, and I accomplished this, I accomplished that. But what we're looking for is the gratitude. Why not first start by saying, you learned under the mentorship of so and so, and they shaped your
Mm.
desire to be able to attain this, and by learning under the
Mm.
feet, that's a completely different person. No, or
Mm.
we did this as a team, and we're able to collaborate, and where I may have had a blind spot, someone else was able to spot that out. I was able to encourage, and That's that now you're talking about humility, right? Integrity,
Mm.
your joy.
Mm.
So the E in open, enthusiasm, is about that J in
Mm.
GHIA, the joy.
Yeah.
You want to see persons who are really joyful, because you need to have this overriding joy, knowing that work isn't always nice and dandy,
Hallelujah.
right? And you have to be able to have that overriding joy to be able to be committed to the task and to be able to get it done right. What I see is, and it's a quote in the book, it says that happiness is what happens to you, but joy
Mm.
is what happens in you. Fulfillment
Mm.
is what happens in you, and you want to grow
Hallelujah.
that deep. And talk about what's in you, Faith. When we're talking about gravitropic growth, the root system,
Mm.
and the phototropic growth, which is the fruit system. Think about your lungs for a moment. Your lungs
Okay.
is a root system. If you look at your lungs, it looks like a tree, or it looks like roots. Yes. If you have what's called a bronchogram, which is a scanning of your lungs, it looks very
Mm.
much like the roots of a tree. Yes.
Mm.
Now, here is a question. If the branches in your lungs are the roots of a human being, what is the fruits, or what is the phototropic evidence of your life? Let me go that again. If
Mm.
the branches of your lungs are like the roots of your life, you have to breathe
Mm.
in and out. What are the fruits? Well, the answer to that is that your words are your fruits. What you
Come
say,
on.
how you say it, you create, your reputation goes before you. What you say, how you treat others, are the fruits. Your deeds, right? A word that goes out can never be taken back, right?
Mm.
And so therefore, part of our maturity in being able to be ready for more money, so that when we have more money won't embarrass us, is to have the control of our tongue. No, I guess this is the preacher part of things, right? So,
I got that.
yes, yes. So there's a very important concept I want all of us to get here on this call, and it is that your tongue is a red carpet of your mind.
Mm.
Your
Your
tongue is a
tongue is the
carpet
red carpet of your
of
mind.
your mind. Yes.
Mm.
So when you think about red carpet, what do you think about, Faith? A red carpet.
Mm. Like a stepping a stepping ground to maybe
Yes.
um into an environment, or
Hmm.
maybe to into maybe an entry point or something.
Yes, yes. And I'd like to hear in the comments as well. What do you think about red carpet? What do you think? You may even think about, say, the Grammy Awards or the Emmy Awards, the Oscar Awards, where celebrities walk, and, only
Mm.
the privileged are allowed on red carpet. As a matter of fact, the red carpet is so guarded that you actually have guards along the red carpet. So only the celebrities, only
Mm.
those that come out of the nice limos and all that, go on the red carpet. Now, I want you to think of the red carpet to be your tongue, and the only things, only thoughts that should be able to go on the red carpet of your tongue are those that you have selected, those that um, are privileged enough to be able to
Mm.
be on your tongue, to go out as words into the atmosphere. So, in other words, you need to guard your mind, and you need to guard what thoughts have the privilege to go on your tongue to now come out as words. Now, that's very important when it comes on to making money without money, believe it or not. What you say, how you say it, when you say it, it makes a world of a difference. There was this episode of Pinky and the Brain, a cartoon long time ago. I don't know if you ever heard of that cartoon, Pinky and the Brain, where you have this tall rat that's he's kind of goofy, and then you have a shorter rat. His name is Brain. He's kind of the serious, sage, wise one. And each time, whenever they're
Mm.
supposed to go out to do something, build to save the world, the tall, goofy one says like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. But he says it in such a very whimsical, uncertain, kind of timid way But when brain says, okay, we're going to do this now, right? There's a way
Mm.
he says it with authority. He chooses words very selectively, and every word carries power and weight. We need to be able to, think before we speak, because our words are
Mm.
power and our words create reality. We have to recognize that. Just like in Genesis, just like in the Bible, the the creation came out of the words of God. It came out into
Mm.
being, or from nothing into something, from no
Mm.
money to be able to make money. And nature, generally speaking, Faith, really shows this miracle of making nothing, or making something
Making
out of nothing.
something from nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
From nothing
All
to
right.
something. Because if bees can make honey without honey, chances are
Yeah.
you can make money without money. But what is that bees do to be able to make honey without honey? Is it that they just laze around and they just wish for the honey to just pour on them without doing
Not at
anything?
all.
No, they work as a team. There's a network. They look at opportunities. Those are the flowers all over the place, right? They have a plan. All of them don't just swarm just one thing. They spread out, and they go in clusters and so on in a very organized way, right? They do it with enthusiasm, with joy, and they're just going about, and they come back to the home base, to the hive, and there are other persons there to receive what they have gotten, to
Yeah.
work on it, and it all makes into honey, and they work as a community, and they're able to make honey without honey. In the same way, we can find ways to make money without money. And nature has so much to
Interesting.
offer to humble us, to recognize that all that we need, we have more than enough to be able to. Oh, sorry, let me put it this way: we have enough in order to have more than enough, right? And it all starts with your mindset, the skill sets, and the tool sets that you have right before you or near you to be able to make money without money.
That's quite fascinating. Thank you so much, Eliud. I want you to talk about opportunities because you just said something related to that when it comes to the bees.
Mhm.
So, for someone who is totally clueless, how do they begin to recognize opportunities? Because right now they want to make their own honey. Yeah. How can they begin to recognize opportunities? Because if you do not recognize opportunities, there's no way you can even work with enthusiasm to say that let me leverage this and that for result, none of that. So let's just start from there. There's something I also want to ask you about the relationship between water and money. So,
Yes.
but let's start from here. I still have two more questions
All right.
before we
Okay.
go. So
Yeah.
tell me,
So,
how do you recognize opportunities?
all right. Okay. So, let me make a statement and then I will explain it. So,
Okay.
opportunity is not always an orange.
It's not always
An orange, like orange
okay.
fruit, an orange.
Mm.
So, there was this father, um, and I'll pose it as a riddle first. So, a father has two oranges and two daughters. What should he do?
Like this.
Well, there we go. There we go.
I've got two here.
And you literally two. Amazing. All right. So a father has those two oranges, and two daughters. What should he do?
Mm.
That's the question. I like persons in the chat to interact with that. So a father has
Okay.
two oranges and two
Two
daughters.
oranges like this.
Two oranges like that, right? And two daughters. What should he do?
Mm.
All right. So think about that. You can put your answer in the chat. Now, let me just explain it because of time. So
Can you see
the
the chat?
yes, yes. So most persons would answer it this way: you give one orange to one daughter, and you give the other orange to the other daughter, because they're two
Mm.
oranges and two daughters. But what we have not thought about when it comes on to the orange opportunity is that possibly one daughter would like the peel of the orange, just the orange peel, to make, I don't know if you do this like in your porridge, you may put orange peel in your porridge to give that kind of zesty orange taste, whatever it is. Or she may want to make orange marmalade, right? A
Mm.
jelly kind of thing. Or the
Okay.
other daughter may want just a slice of the orange, not the entire orange. Um,
Mm.
Another thing is that one of them may want just the seeds, because what she sees in a seed isn't just an orange, but many oranges in that one seed. So
Mm.
once you give her a seed, the rest of the orange can go to the father. So in other words, there are
Mm.
many opportunities right there that it doesn't have to be that the daughter's got the orange and the father has nothing. There are
Mm.
many ways in which you can see that orange as an opportunity that can now serve many others. So by
Interesting.
using that kind of thinking in whatever you're doing, try to find the seed in that orange. No, it may not be orange. It may be a clump of dirt where there's gold, the ore of gold, right? And then you may have to go through some process, refining to really see the preciousness of it. Or it may be a diamond that's a diamond in a rough that needs to be properly, go through the kind of cutting and so on to see the crystal clarity of the opportunity. But there are opportunities
Mm.
right before you. Yes. No, that is opportunity as an orange. No, I want you to think of opportunity as water. Now, there's water
Okay.
everywhere. And the same way,
Mm.
opportunities are equally abundant. Now, in the book, it says that money acts like water. Yeah?
Yeah.
Money acts like water. And the book shows that if you understand how water works, you can understand how money works. Now, uh, the idea of about money, I'm going to connect it to opportunity shortly. Idea of money, if you realize, and I've been in the financial industry for 2 decades, we use a lot of water words when we're talking about money. Cash
Yeah.
flow,
Cash flow.
inflow, outflow. We use words like uh, to what is it? Streams, like income streams. We talk about liquidity, mopping up liquidity. We talk about drainage, leakage of money. We talk about cycles. We talk about, there are lots of water words that we use. Even the word bank comes from riverbank, right?
Mm.
So
Can you imagine?
it gives you about 80 water words to recognize that. To be able to recognize money, you need to be able to recognize where water is. Now, water is everywhere, not just in a river and not just in an ocean, right?
Mm.
Water is actually in the atmosphere. When you're breathing in water molecules. There's moisture in the air. So right before you, when you talk about how can you help persons see opportunity, you have to recognize opportunities are out in the open. They're out in the open atmosphere. You just now need to recognize it. You now need to be more present to breathe in the opportunities that are there, the moist opportunities that are there. It may be in a glass of water, it may be in a spoon, right? It's a little
Mm.
water in a spoon, it may be out in the ocean. No matter if you're playing in a small pond or a big pond, there are opportunities out there for you. So that's opportunities as water, and that's opportunities as an orange, or more than an orange, because there are more opportunities, even more opportunities for you than you could ever grasp.
Thank you. So, my last question before you give your final thoughts um, is around the concept of wafflement, the blend between wealth and fulfillment.
Yes.
I'd like you to talk about it. How does it work? How can you blend wealth and fulfillment? Can one go without the other? Should they go together? What's that about? We talked about it in the
Yeah.
book.
So wafflement is a combination of wealth and fulfillment. So it's two words in one, right? Wafflement, wealth plus fulfillment. So idea here is that the book isn't trying to tell you to just pursue money, 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 money. I want to get more money, right? It is about pursuing your signature blend of wealth and
Mm.
fulfillment. Again, word signature comes again. Your unique blend of wealth and fulfillment, because there are lots of wealthy people who are unhappy. Yes. So pursuing wealth in and of itself is really frustration, right? So it is all about pursuing that right blend. Now, the term waffle is actually used as a key symbol for what you're really trying to pursue when it comes on to wealth and fulfillment. And it tells of a story of the dumpling, the donut, and the waffle. Uh,
Yeah.
a dumpling is basically, a circle, um, a sphere, dough, or how do I put it? It's a pastry, right? It's a round pastry. Okay.
Mm.
Um, you may call it a different thing in Nigeria, but we just use the word dumpling. So dumpling is just a ball of flour water that is baked. Okay.
Okay.
Now, a dumpling represents an income of one. A
Okay.
donut is a dumpling with a hole in it, which basically is like your income after taxes, after deductions, the whole, right?
Mm.
And most of us receive a donut every month. 12 months in a year, so we
Okay.
receive 12 donuts in a box, and that's our annual income, right? A box of donuts, basically. And what the book is saying is that you need to shift your approach to wealth and fulfillment in the shape of a waffle. Now, waffle
Mm.
has pockets, and each pocket represents an income stream. So in the book, it speaks about a 3 by 3 grid. So that's nine pockets. Could be more, but just keep it simple: 3 by 3, and 9 pockets, 9 income streams. So the idea in making money without money isn't just to make money, but to be able, or not just to, just make money, and that's one kind of money, but to make money in a way that increases your income streams. So
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Is it from my end? Okay, Eliud will be back. I think the network is from his end. Hello everyone. Can you still hear me in the comment? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me in the comment? If you can hear me, say I can hear you. We shall be rounding off soon in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's from him. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're gonna be rounding off. So I just wanted him to talk about the blend between worth and fulfillment. Because a lot of times we pursue money, we pursue worth without really looking at the other angle of it, to say that it is really of necessity that we really pursue the kind of worth that can bring fulfillment and not just happiness. All right. So if you've been here up until now, thank you so much for stopping by. This is the Real Leaders Book Club community. We're on Facebook. I know some of you are watching me from YouTube. Some are watching me from my personal profile. Wherever you are, thank you for joining us. Please, this is the book Open Sesame by Eliud. We've been discussing, right? Yes, on our platform, we give opportunity to our members and to those who would love us to also help them promote their book as a book club community. So if at any point in time you've written a book, you want us to promote your book, but please note that it is not free. We can help you promote your work, okay? On the platform, currently have a community of over 150,000 members across more than 35 nations of the world. So you are currently learning from Eliud all the way from Jamaica, and I believe you've been learning a lot. Thank you so much for joining in. So If you've learned so much up until now, please share in the comments some of the key thoughts that have actually stood out for you. I like to read from you. Share in the comments some of the key thoughts that have stood out for you. Share, share, share. And if you also have a question, please do where to share. There's no way we're going to be able to teach this book in totality. Okay? There's no way we're going to be able to teach it in totality. So it is up to you to go get it now, right? So the link is in the description. You can get it from Amazon. I think it's about $31 or thereabout. Hard copy is about $42. So go get it from there so you can read and really delve into it on a deeper level. Like I was sharing with you at the back end, I said he was able to really weave the different aspect of his experience into this book as a man of God, as an economist, as a tech bro. He was able to really put all of those concepts together to go deep. So if you want to learn about tech, is in this book how you can begin to blend your ideas with the concept of technology, AI, artificial intelligence, as we may know, and some other tech approach to ensure that you are able to make money without money, right? For example, I started off in the online space just with my smartphone, right? I started teaching, I started talking to people, and that was how it all started. Started off with the Really Das community back in 2017, right? With my smartphone. So at the middle part of it, he also was able to emphasize the need for you to be grounded spiritually. Spoke about the 10 C's, character, commitment, and all of that. And then there's also the part that has to do with economics, right? How you can really begin to balance and understand the concept of money itself. What is money? And then there's also the part where he spoke about productivity, right? Productivity, that's the three eights. The three eights. Um, so I like you to go ahead and get the book. So Eliud is not back. Uh, I wanted him to round off for today. Okay, so I think he's caught up with some other things over there. I don't know if it is network, so we have to round off. We have to round this off. Okay. Thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been beautiful. Hopefully, we may bring him back some other time for us to share more. If you've learned a lot, please go ahead and get the book so that you can continue to learn. And then go ahead and also rewatch this video again and again. Watch it again and again so that you can integrate some of the key lessons that's been shared in the book. All right. Thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been beautiful having you all in the room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So really, there's also a link for you to subscribe to our newsletter in this description. If you're not watching me from really this directly, please do where to check the link in the description to subscribe to our newsletter. Going forward, we're going to be sharing more updates on book conversations like this, reading challenges, um, community, and a whole lot. Yeah, right? We're going to be sharing on that on a deeper level so that your reading can be fruitful. Reading is beautiful. Like we would always say that it is becoming fluid and effortless in the Really That's Book Club community. Like if you've been struggling to keep up, you've been struggling to really take your reading to the next level, I'd like you to connect to the community, connect to us on a deeper level. Subscribe to the newsletter so that you can continue to receive updates, book recommendations, and a whole lot more. All right. Thank you for your time. This is the voice of Coach Faith Michael, the founder of the Really That's Book Club. I hope to see you around in some of our subsequent and upcoming programs. So please, oh my God, it seems Eliud is back. So he should just give his final thoughts so we can round off. Eliud, I was about rounding off. What happened?
Yes,
I think you
my
should give your
apologies.
final thought. What happened?
Right. Look at the internet just was volatile, so I had to just switch
Oh,
to my
sorry.
phone. My apologies.
Okay. So I was about rounding off. Maybe briefly
Yes.
just conclude on the concept of wafflement. And then there's a part in the book I wanted to also ask you where you said that in this day and age we have to be intelligent. There was something you said around that line. I so I'd like you to talk about why it is of necessity for us to be more than intelligent than as ever before in this day and age. And they can give us your final thoughts. Over to you.
Yes. All right. So, yeah. So regarding wafflement, I would have been sharing a story regarding the dump in the donut and the waffle. And the idea is
Yeah.
that the donut means income of one. The sorry, the dumpling means an income of one. The donut is a dumpling with a hole in it, and the waffle represents pockets of income streams on one side of the waffle, and pockets of purpose on the other side of the waffle. So you're trying to connect what you earn in whatever income stream with a meaningful yearn or desire that you have in
Okay.
life. And that gives you that blend of wealth and fulfillment as you pursue making money without money. Now, in terms of going beyond
Intelligence.
uh, intelligence, well, the idea here is that there are different forms of intelligence. We in school we tend to celebrate
Focus more.
IQ
Yeah.
as the main thing, but there are other cues, right? There's EQ,
Yeah.
emotional quotient. There's AQ, adversity quotient. CQ,
Yeah.
cultural quotient. In other words, there are many other
I
forms
haven't heard
of
of CQ,
intelligence.
culture quotient.
That's right. Oh yes, and there are many.
Mm.
There are many others, and also intelligence in of itself. There's this theorist. His name is Michael Gardner, I believe, who came up with the 7 types of intelligence. So
Mm.
the one that we hear a lot in school is being a rocket scientist or the super mathematician, basically the Einstein. And those are the ones that are celebrated and given honors and all that. But the other types of intelligence that is spoken of are like kinesthetic intelligence. So those
Okay.
students that tend to run up and down and they tend to create mischief because they can't stay one place in class,
Mm. Yeah.
or they're good at sports, those have a different form of intelligence called kinetic intelligence. There
Mm.
is visual spatial intelligence. There is, all various kinds of forms of intelligence. 7 of them. You can look them up. And the idea here is that many of us say, or you may have heard it said by others, that I'm too dumb to figure out a great idea that will make money without money, or I didn't
Mm.
get much accolades in school, or my grades were just average in school, so I guess I'm just doomed to average life. But the idea is, no, we're all geniuses in our own right. We're all geniuses in the strengths and the gifts that God has blessed us with. It is for
Mm.
us to focus on that and to build on that and to think about how we can use it to serve others in such a way that people are more than willing to give away some money for it, because what you're giving them is far more than whatever they could ever give you. As a matter of fact, they're thanking you over and over and over, and they feel almost indebted to you because they feel that what they've given you is just a contribution to how much you have made an impact on their life. And your intelligence can now lead to impact. And
Mm.
that gap between your intelligence and your impact is where income is
Losing.
made. And that's what money without money is all about. You already have enough to have a lot, and you can make plenty out of empty. Your greatest resource is resourcefulness, and you're called to be rich in resourcefulness, to develop roots
Mm.
of resourcefulness, and you'll be able to grow fruits of many kinds, many varieties, many income streams, and to be able to help others in their own endeavors, and while doing so making you rich in many, many ways.
Interesting. Thank you, Eliud. It's been a beautiful conversation. So I'd like you to tell us how can we reach out to you or as many that may want to connect. Is that possible?
Yeah,
Is
of
it
course.
okay?
So
So
the social media handle on Instagram is money without money, money
okay.
without money. Um, the website is moneywithoutmoney.com. Yes. And if you just
Okay.
go to the website, moneywithoutmoney.com, all the various, videos and links to all the social media handles and many other resources are there for you. And of course, on Amazon, just type in Open Sesame, how to make money without money, or just type in Open Sesame money, and you'll see it come up, and you can order your copy. It's available also on Kindle. It's available also as an ebook PDF download as well. So make good use of that. The audiobook is coming out, and that should be coming out in July. So there are many different ways for you to be able to digest all that is there. It's a book
So,
series. There are 9
okay.
books associated with the series.
I wanted to ask that.
Yes, right. So this is the first of the series of books. So there are 8 other books that are part of the series, and they're in pairs, right? So you have the opportunity pair, that's O in open. Then you have the plan pair, you have the enthusiasm pair, and then you have the network pair. All of that helps guide you through this maze, or what looks like a maze, that takes you through opportunity, to unlock your opportunity, to unlock your plan, to unlock your enthusiasm, and to unlock the network for you to reach the center of that maze, which is called Wafflement. So it's adventure. Instead of going through the whole budget spreadsheet kind of approach, which a lot of people don't like, that's just so overwhelming. It takes more of an adventure and reflective approach towards finding that sweet spot that you're able to make money without money, to not just help yourself, but to help your family, to help your community, and to build character as the
And
center
to travel the
institution
world.
for your family.
Thank you.
Yes,
Eliud, can you hear me?
very clearly.
Okay, so thank you so much. We can't wait to have other follow up to this, the sequel to this, in the coming months. I know that others will be released soon, so we're going to be having more conversations like this around the book. So please, guys, go ahead and get your copy so that you can follow up with us on the journey, right? So you don't get confused. We have started off on the journey. So we're
Yes,
also hoping that Eliud will be in Nigeria
of
in the
course.
coming years, hopefully.
Let's make it
Thank you
happen.
so much for. You wanted to say something? I think I was expecting to hear from you on that. Did you say anything?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'd
It seems
love to
there's
be
a
in
lag.
Nigeria.
Okay. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a beautiful conversation. Eliud, what are you saying? Like, I can't hear you. There's a lag in between. What did you say?
Just saying thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Faith. And thank you to your kind audience. And
All right.
I'll love to come to Nigeria anytime at a moment's
All right.
notice.
That would be great. That would be great. Okay, see you next time, everyone. Ensure you share your ahas in the comments. Possibly, you can also share with us. Reach out to Eliud and share some of those thoughts with him as well, some of the things you've benefited from this conversation. We hope to have him again as we continue to learn from him. Okay, Open Sesame. How to make money without money. Just the idea alone is enough to help you make powerful decisions that will really change the course of your journey. All right, do have a lovely time ahead. Bye, everyone.
Bye.